The Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mambrou Njai, launches the $53 million University of the Gambia Faraba Banta Campus project. The M23 candidate bidding to unseat President Abdoulaye Wade in the forthcoming presidential election calls for the setting up of a national transitional council. And Syrian forces pound the flashpoint town of Homs with heavy artillery, reportedly killing as many as 50 people on Monday alone. These and other stories coming ahead this hour. My name is Famara Fofana. Thanks for joining us. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Haji Dr. Yahya A.J.J. Jammeh, acting under the provisions of Section 71, 73, 71.1, and 71.3 respectively of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, has made the following cabinet appointments: Ms. Fatim Baji, Minister of Health and Social Welfare; Mr. Keba Esture, Minister of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment. The Senegalese Foreign Affairs Minister Madi Nyang today called on His Excellency the President, Sheikh Professor Haji Dr. Yahya Jammeh. Minister Nyang was dispatched by President Abdoulaye Wade to deliver a goodwill and congratulatory message to Professor Jammeh. Fatou Jassi has more on that.
The envoy from the Senegalese President Abdoulaye Wade Tuesday paid a courtesy call to President Jammeh. The envoy, Foreign Minister Madi Nyang, told journalists after meeting President Jammeh that his mission is to extend President Wade's congratulations to his Gambian counterpart on his fourth mandate. After witnessing what was a spectacular inauguration ceremony of President Jammeh, Madi Nyang reveals that President Wade deems it fit to extend goodwill messages to his brother for the prevailing peace and tranquility that reigns in the Gambia.
My mission here is to formally extend to His Excellency President Jammeh, his brother President Wade's goodwill message. President Wade also extends prayers for the continuous peace and tranquility to prevail in the Gambia.
For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi.
The first industrial feed mill located on Gambian soil is up and running. Construction of the mill that adds value to agricultural products like locally grown rice and produces animal, fish and poultry feed began in August 2010. Well, the Qatari officials managing the farm on Monday presented samples of the mill's first product to President Jammeh. Abdinjai reports.
Would this be the first animal feed produced in the Gambia?
Even if there was anything similar to it, it might have been too local to be known or to offset importation of animal feed from other ECOWAS countries. But there is now a breakthrough in this area, following President Jammeh's visit to Qatar in 2010 and the eventual forging of a partnership between Conapro, a Qatari-based company, and the GPA, GNPC, and the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. That partnership has led to the establishment of the first feed mill in the Gambia, called the Gambia Food and Feed Industries, located at Karmalo along the Banjul-Serekunda Highway.
Today, I can proudly inform you that the project, the GFFI project, we signed in May of 2010, part of it has been completed. The feed mill, the part of the GFFI project, the feed mill is completed, it's commissioned and 100% ready for production.
This is welcome news for a government that attaches so much importance to animal husbandry and poultry production. The fact that it has decided to go fully industrial in addressing the challenges facing the industry speaks volume about its intentions.
What we really need to eradicate poverty in this country, it's not a really rice mill that will only produce cereals for various types of people. But as Dr. Jallo said, in this country, we lag behind most countries in West Africa in terms of livestock agriculture. Why? The reason being the size of the country, the increasing population, and the conflict between farmers and cattle and other livestock owners. Because of the grazing land is dwindling, farmland is increasing, the country is not expanding in size. So for us to really have viable livestock farmers on an industrial scale or commercial scale, we need to have supplementary feeding processes.
No matter what survey has been done to establish a reliable market for the products, President Jammeh is now telling them that it will be in fact too difficult to satisfy the local demand. The caution was for them not to limit production to the Gambian market alone.
I can assure the CONAPRO and of course the Gandhi brothers that if they think that what they have is enough, they are asking for trouble. They'll have to double the capacity, because once you produce quality, the quality that we have shown, you are not looking at the Gambia as a small market. You are looking at the entire ECOWAS region, most members of which have bigger poultry farmers than anywhere else. Nigeria alone, you may not be able to satisfy their market and their demand. So don't look at it in the context of the factory being put up for the Gambia. You're putting it in an ECOWAS region, the entire African continent, and of course other countries with which we have trade agreements.
Ambassador Ansumana Jammeh, who helped broker the deal while in Qatar, is very enthusiastic and openly told the gathering there is more in the offing with regards to investments by the Qatar-based company.
This is just the beginning of our relationship between the CONAPRO and the Gambia government. CONAPRO has a lot of things at the pipeline, things that we really want to implement, and things that we don't even want to disclose here at this gathering. I am sure come next year or in the near future, you will hear us again, CONAPRO people.
The advent of this feed mill will be able to encourage the timely, ensure the availability of the timely availability of feed for livestock. It will encourage the participation of livestock, participation of farmers in livestock production or other Gambians in livestock production. So it also helps save the country foreign currency. It also helps increase the, most important thing is to help increase the health of the general population.
The ceremony, which attracted comments from members of President Jammeh's new cabinet, was attended by the shareholders made up of GNPC, GPA, and the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. The Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service, Dr. Njoguba, sums it up with calls for quality to be maintained in order not to give buyers reason to try something else.
We think that it's, we believe it's a viable project. That's what we believed in the beginning, and we could still believe in that. And we know that at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for all. We thank the GPA and Social Security and GNPC for believing in the project and for supporting all the way. We thank you very much. We wish to urge CONAPRO to be consistent, and not to compromise quality. When you start something and everybody welcomes it and you have the market, make sure you give them the reason to stick with you.
With a liberal market policy, the company may not be able to bank on a ban on feed importation for its industry to flourish. But what will make it triumph is affordability, accessibility, and quality. Abdunjai, GRTS.
Highlights of that presentation ceremony will be aired tonight at 10:30 p.m. The Finance and Economic Affairs Minister, Mambure Njai, today launched the multi-million-dollar University of the Gambia Faraba Banta Campus project on behalf of the President and Chancellor of the University. Abubakar Dabo reports on the historic event that attracted foreign diplomats and representatives of donor agencies.
For what academics take to be a blaze on the trail for thousands of deserving Gambians and generations yet unborn, the official launch of the University of the Gambia Faraba Banta Campus project could not have come at a more opportune moment when the country's higher education tenacity is flamboyantly galloping for global repute. As a brainchild nurtured and hyped by President Jammeh, the university took off amidst great resolve and tenacity to place Gambia comfortably among the community of nations against the utopian idea of capacity and competence.